without any further ado, I want to introduce again Mayor Ben Walsh, who's graced us with his presence here today. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everybody. I'd like to say that it took a lot for me to get out on Skaneateles Lake in August with the sun shining for an hour, but that was pretty easy. I mentioned to a few of you, I have my niece Tara McNeil here with me, and as we were sitting out there sunning ourselves in the middle of the lake, Tara is shadowing me today, and we've had a number of stops. We've been going all day. But I looked at her, I said, Tara, just so you know, this is not a typical day in the life of the mayor here. I've never done this before, but it was great. Some of you may know my family has a long history on Otisco Lake, right next door. So the Finger Lakes and this particular part of our region is very special to me. But despite the fact that I've spent a lot of time around Skaneateles Lake, I haven't spent a lot of time on the lake. So it was really great to get out there with our Commissioner Joe Awald, with Rich Abbott. We had our Director of Operations, Corey Driscoll-Dunham, who's here in the back there, and to learn, to actually see where the intakes go out to see the buoy out there and the instrumentation and the measurement, to see the palatial mansions on the shorelines that I've heard about. It was a really great experience. But at the heart of what we're all doing here today, the primary purpose, in addition to learning today, is for me to come out and to thank all of you for everything that you do to keep this treasured body of water clean for all of us. It truly is a partnership. Paul and the work of the Skaneateles Lake Association is critical. I'm so impressed by the number of volunteers, the personal investments the members of the SLA have made, and the progress that you've made specific to milfoil, and also expanding that to other invasive species. Again, on Otisco, we're dealing with many of the same issues, and I really look to the work that the SLA does as a model for really everywhere else. I also do want to thank the other town and village leaders. I've had a chance to get to know Janet a little bit on a number of issues. Really pleased to meet some of the other local elected officials, and really look forward to working with all of you. I truly appreciate your partnership, and again, we couldn't do it alone, and I look forward to continuing to work closely with all of you and getting to know all of you better. Also want to acknowledge the Agricultural Committee. I had a chance last year to do a tour of some farms in the region. We started at Jim Greenfield's place. Again, going back to my childhood, my father, when he served in Congress, served on the Agriculture Committee, so I did spend a little bit of time on farms growing up, but clearly had a lot to learn, and learned a lot traveling around with Jim and seeing all of the impressive work that Jim and other farmers do voluntarily. I think that's just really important to state that this is voluntary work that they're doing. There could be ways to generate more revenue, and God knows farming is not an easy industry. Never has been, but certainly isn't today. But to see the work that our agricultural community and our farmers do, it really is inspiring, as is the support provided by our great local organizations, the Skaneateles Lake Watershed Agricultural Program. And we have Eric here, Eric Jensen, on behalf of that program, and of course we have Jim Greenfield representing that program, still keeping my acronyms straight, and Eric on behalf of the Onondaga County Soil and Water Conservation District, and appreciate the work that you and Mark Berger and the rest of your team do as well. It really is a partnership that takes place 365 days a year, and I appreciate it. As you all know, the city of Syracuse, we take a lot of pride in doing our part. We invest well over $1 million annually into protecting this watershed. We have great leadership from our water department, specifically Joe Awald and Rich Abbott and their team. They are out there every day ensuring proper site development, doing water sampling, also keeping an eye out for of course blooms and also invasive species, and I truly appreciate the work that they do. I think another important note here is that we all acknowledge that while we do a lot, And as we look out on this beautiful lake, it's a credit to all of our work for the condition that it's in today, but I think we would all acknowledge it's not enough. And as the climate continues to change and the lake continues to change, we need to continue to adapt, and we need to continue to step up our efforts. And I'm here to say, on behalf of the City of Syracuse, that we are very much prepared to do that. I think that the most recent investment that we made in the inspection program hopefully is if nothing else, a sign of good faith and goodwill that we intend to continue to partner and continue to do more. And I look forward to a partnership for many years to come. Now, in case I got too big for my britches here and coming out and taking this tour and trying to claim that I was doing something new or innovative in taking an interest, Frank Moses, my friend, who I should note, we grew up on Otisco Lake together, so we have a shared passion for this part of the country as well. But Frank was nice enough to share the other day, some of you might have been wondering what I was carrying around, this big piece of paper, but he shared an article from literally 100 years ago where Mayor Shenick, who happens to be Frank's great-grandfather, Frank, is that right? Great-grandfather was out here doing this very same thing that I'm doing 100 years ago. And so I am proud to follow in a long line of city leaders and municipal leaders in doing our part to protect this great asset. And I'm here to say that we are committed to continuing this partnership for the next 100 years and many years after that to come. So thank you all very much for your partnership, and keep up the great work.
And I'll let you know, if it wasn't for my great-grandfather having the camp on Otisco, I wouldn't have grown up there, and I wouldn't have had the nice times I had growing up and water skiing with the mayor here. Wanted to thank all our board members from SLA. If you could raise your hands, Neil Murphy, Mary Sennett, Fran Fish, Bob Werner, Bill Dean, Buzz Roberts heading up the program, and Paul, our president. Just wanted, and I hope I didn't forget anybody here, but wanted to thank all of you for your leadership and support of me being out almost every day on the lake, keeping an eye out for HABs and doing all the good work that you've really pioneered and laid the foundation for me to have a wonderful dream job. And I wanted to give the mayor a token of our appreciation. This is a Skaneateles Lake Association water bottle, so you can enjoy the wonderful water we're working together to take care of. And this is the Legacy Fund water droplet that we're continuing to raise funds to do more against harmful algal blooms. And then this is for you or your dad's Boston whaler on the lake. This is a boat keychain. It says "Stop Aquatic Hitchhikers, Clean, Drain, Dry Boats and Fishing Gear." So thank you, Mayor. Appreciate your support, and wanted to invite everybody to the Mandana Inn to enjoy some cocktails for a few moments until the 5 o'clock hour. And it's all under $15 right here. Is that the limit?
We're good.
Okay. All right.
Just a couple final thoughts. One, Frank mentioned water skiing. For those of you that know my dad, he's done his fair share of water skiing, but we recently went from the Mastercraft, much to my chagrin, to the Boston Whaler, so he's doing a lot more fishing than he is water skiing now. But there is also one more person I want to recognize who hates when I recognize him, but Greg Lowe is here. And Greg, I have to give a lot of credit for. He has spent a lot of time, as you all know, not only educating himself, but educating me on the extent of this partnership with all of you here, and is a great resource to me, to the city, and to this entire partnership. So thank you to Greg as well.
Enjoy. We're right across the street, and hope to see you there. Thanks so much.